Good afternoon, dear viewers. Here I am in Trafalgar Square, London. Behind me you can see Nelson's Column. Anyway, I've filmed at Trafalgar Square before, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about Nelson's Column. So, this is Admiral Lord Nelson, who was born in 1758, and he came from Norfolk. He went to a school there, also attended by Stephen Fry. Anyway, he joined the Royal Navy as an adolescent and worked his way up the ranks. He didn't come from a family that was that well off, solidly middle class, but the Navy, unlike the Army, really was open to talents, no buying commissions, because it was a very tough, hands-on job, even for officers. There was a real danger, even in peacetime, of scurvy or the ship capsizing. So he worked his way up by dint of effort and indeed merit. Obviously, he rose to be an admiral. So he won the Battle of the Nile. Famously, he turned Nelson's eye, his blind eye, to his telescope to disobey a certain order. And his hour of victory was October 1805, the Battle of Trafalgar against the French and Spanish fleets. It was fought off the coast of Portugal, so Cape Trafalgar is the nearest point of land to which it occurred. And he was fatally wounded by a French sniper in that battle. His body was pickled in brandy and brought back here to be given a state funeral at St Paul's Cathedral. He's one of only 3 commoners ever to be accorded a state funeral, the others being the Duke of Wellington and Sir Winston Churchill. I mean, I say commoners, they were all aristocratic, certainly by the end, but they're not members of the royal family, is the point. So this was erected after his death. Trafalgar Square itself didn't exist until the 1820s. It was the royal stables before that. And there's scenes around the plinth of various battles, the Battle of Aboukir Bay, as well as Trafalgar, Cape St Vincent, I can't remember the other one. And these metal friezes, they're very detailed. They repay close examination. These huge lions. People used to go and pose in them for photos. I have. There's a danger you'd slip off, but you're not allowed to climb on them anymore. Oh, well, this woman's in the way, but maybe you see the sign behind me warning you that in these days of health and safety. Unfortunately, you can't go up inside the column. There it is, over 80 meters tall, and he's looking to the southwest. So that raised area there is used as a podium for political rallies. Jomo Kenyatta spoke there in the 1930s. Sir Oswald Mosley spoke there. Viscount Stansgate, he used to moonlight under the name of Tony Benn. He spoke there regularly, and obviously it's the focal point for various concerts as well as demonstrations. So, well, over here is Canada House behind me. A bit more about the local area. The Canadian High Commission, which is most of that building. I'll show you right on the other side, something I haven't commented on before, is South Africa House, the South African High Commission. Perhaps you can see its flag fluttering there. So South Africa House, in the 80s, when I was a little boy, I would see protesters outside there all the time holding signs saying the 5 must not hang, about 5 anti-apartheid activists who were due to be executed in South Africa, and people demonstrating that their lives to be spared. I think their wish was granted, actually. Because of apartheid in the 80s, there was always some sort of a demonstration going outside there. So this is the nodal point of London, and it's well worth visiting. On that side towards the National Gallery is pedestrianised. John Prescott, one-time Deputy Prime Minister, he ordered it to be pedestrianised. It's a spot for all these street performers. That is John Prescott's only lasting accomplishment. Anyway, that's enough for the moment from Trafalgar Square.